it's just, one thing with the Tigers, you see Chris Ilitch, and I've been critical of Chris Ilitch. Some days, I mean, he doesn't burn to win like his old man. Nobody did. No, nobody did it quite like Mr. I. But I try to cut him some slack and whatnot. But it seems like he was investing in the Tigers. They went from like close to a bottom 10 payroll to like a top 10 payroll. They're spending a lot of money. They added Framber Valdez. They brought Justin Verlander back, and yeah, it's been a mess. And there's a bunch of rumors about him retiring and whatnot. I saw that on Facebook. Mark sent me that. But it seems like he does seem to give a little bit more of a damn about the Tigers. Yeah, I saw that. That kind of fooled me for a second. It seems like there is more investment in the Tigers. At least maybe they take it a little bit more seriously. They seem like, they were kind of committed to Terry Scuba. Like, okay, we rebuilt, we added all these pieces to the rotation. So, maybe we can entice him into sticking around. But it hasn't really gone the way they wanted it to. But the thing with, the Red Wings, it's just I ranted about this with Mark. I probably said the F word about 300 times, but it's just Yzerman's got to go. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I know the guy. I mean, look, Yzerman is my childhood hero. The guy made hockey. I mean, they were the Dead Wings when he got there. There was Hockey Town when he left. The guy's an absolute legend. Whatever magic he had in Tampa Bay just isn't transferring to Detroit. And I think, the longer this goes on, and I know Chris Ilitch, I mean, obviously Mr. I was like, like a father to Stevie or what have you, but it's just like there's certain aspects of it that just bother me. I think, maybe it's could become kind of a boys club with the Red Wings. They got these guys entrenched in there. They can never get fired, but there's a lot of dysfunction. The Wings are so dysfunctional right now. At least for the Tigers, there's some investment and there's a little bit of life. And, we can see like the Red Wings, they were kind of leading the division for a little bit. They were like top 3 in the Eastern Conference for a while, but it was kind of a mirage. And we kind of saw them, fall down that pit again. And I don't sense the urgency. I sense more urgency from the Tigers. And the Red Wings, it just seems to be business as usual. They've been stuck in the mud. I don't see the urgency. Steve Yzerman's been back. And I said it before, with Mark. If you told me back in 2019 when Yzerman first came back that the Detroit Lions would win back-to-back division titles before the Red Wings made the playoffs, I probably would have thought you were smoking crack. And the same thing, you see other teams in the division passing them too. They just don't seem to. I mean, the Ilitch Holdings or whatever, Chris Ilitch just doesn't seem to give much of a shit about the Detroit Red Wings. And with the Tigers and stuff like that, we have questions about Scott Harris and whatnot. But at least, he gave us Kevin McGonigal and whatnot. But I just, I'm a very critical of Chris Ilitch. I just think, he's willing to spend some money here and there. But, I mean, overall, I think he's just not as plugged in. He's just not a very plugged in owner overall.